Hey guys, Silver Contrail here, and today we're going to be looking at another Yu-Gi-Oh deck. This time it's Harpies. This is a deck that I've personally been playing online at least a little bit, and I wanted to talk about this just to get my thoughts out there, at least initially on what I think about Harpies going forward. And it's a deck that I'm probably going to continue to explore, potentially going into YCS Chicago. This is a tough deck to play. In a tournament scene, it doesn't have the amount of search power that a lot of the other top decks have. It doesn't have tanky. What it has is Hysteric Sign, which when it's destroyed during the end phase, you can add 3 Harpie cards with different names from your deck to your hand. Usually, you're going to use this to add 1 copy of Harpie Queen, 1 copy of Harpie Channeler, and 1 copy of Harpie Dancer. Sometimes you want to add a Harpie Lady 1. Usually, I like to keep these in the deck so that Elegant Egotist is live. And then, of course, Hysteric Sign can search out Elegant Egotist, which does come in handy from time to time. And then Egotist summons the Harpie Lady 1. So there definitely are some ways to get to your cards, but this is not tanky. This isn't as easy to play as tanky. You do get more cards out of it, but it's, you start off with this card, you're not going to be able to immediately get to your Harpie monsters, and that's definitely a problem. And the lack of direct search outside of maybe Harpie Queen, which is basically only a terraforming, does cause some issues. But I've been trying to fix the deck and make it as consistent as possible, and I've been exploring some tech options as well, so you can see a lot of the cards in here. I'll go over them in turn, and we'll probably get into a duo real quick to just kind of talk about some of the stuff that I'm playing here. So for the basic Harpie engine, I'm playing 1 Pet Dragon, and I've chosen only to run 1 because I'm running the Pot of Dichotomy, which is called Pot of Duplicity in here for some reason. The 1 Dragon, to me, is the best number, but I say that hesitantly because there are times that you're going to regret running just the 1, and there are times you're going to regret running 2. I mean, if you open with 2, you're probably going to lose, unless you immediately have a Channeler. If you open with 1, it's not the end of the world, so I do like having just the 1, and generally speaking, I don't make rank 7s that much. Anyways, playing 3 Harpie Queen, and I'll just go over the Harpies real quick. 3 Queen, 3 Channeler, 3 Harpie Lady 1, and 3 Harpie Dancer. Now, the one change I could potentially see making here is to change one of the Harpie Lady 1s out for a Cyber Harpie. I've actually really liked the Harpie Lady 1s so far. I think that their effect boost is pretty nice, but if I switched one out for a Cyber Harpie, it would probably do just a little bit better, but I haven't really tested it that much. Excuse me. Anyways, I'm also running the 1 Zephyros the Elite, a Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds, and 2 Effect Veilers for my monsters. The Zephyros is interesting. It's been good so far when I'm playing Fiendish Chains. It's been good when I run Discard Traps, but I'm not really running a whole bunch of those in here. I am running the Swallow's Nest, though, so there's something to be said for that. You can basically use Zephyros the Elite with a Swallow's Nest to summon the Zephyros, Swallow's Nest it into a Channeler, use Channeler's effect, grab another Harpie, and then flip the Channeler back into your hand to summon the Zephyros, and that ends up working pretty well with Divine Wind especially. Or you can just put the Channeler back in your hand so you can use it later. And it's really not too bad. It comes across as a minus initially, but since you get the Zephyros back, it ends up being an even. So I don't think it's too bad, overall. With Swallow's Nest, but it does kind of clog the hand a little bit. Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds is really important here. It prevents monsters from being special summoned except for wind monsters. Of all the decks being played right now, basically nobody's playing wind monsters, so you summon this against Heretics, against Mermail. They have to attack over with a normal summon monster. Mermail's got a lot of stuff, but you play enough defensive traps to hopefully prevent them from doing that. And the cool thing about it is that since it's a winged beast, you can tribute it for Swallow's Nest, and you can also summon it with Swallow's Nest, and that's really important. One of the biggest plays in this deck is to have a Harpie monster on the field, and then when they activate an effect that would special summon, like the effect of, say, Mermail Abyss Megalo, you just chain the Swallow's Nest, and you grab the Barrier Statue from the deck. and then their Megalo attempts to resolve. It can't be special summoned, and it goes to the graveyard instead. And they don't get their Abyss Spear. So pretty cool. Playing the 2 Veilers for now. I sub these. Initially, I ran Divine Wrath, and I love Divine Wrath. There's a lot of discussion about it not being as good anymore. I love Divine Wrath. It's such a good card. It lets me discard the sign. It kills monsters. But I'm playing the Veilers, not playing the Phoenix Chains, because I really want to be able to get the dichotomies to be live. So I need the extra effect type, or the monster type. But yeah, these guys are in testing. They've done pretty okay so far. For the spells, I'm running 1 Dark Hole, which I may or may not keep. I'm not sure. The Elegant Egotist, at least 1 copy just to have something to search. And then 2 Pot of Dichotomies. So these guys can return 3 monsters in your graveyard with different types. Into the deck, you shuffle the deck, you draw 2 cards, and you can't conduct your battle phase. You can special summon, but you can't go to your battle phase. And you need to use it at the start of your main phase 1. This needs to be the first card you activate. So basically, as far as with the types I have here, everything's a winged beast except for the 2 Veilers and the Harpie's Pet Dragon. The thing is that you special summon, or you Xyz summon enough. All these Xyz monsters have different types. The exceptions being the Ice Beast Zero-Fiend and the Harpie's Pet Fantastic. No, actually, that's a dragon too. Yeah, so the Ice Beast Zero-Fiend. If you make basically anything else, you're going to have enough. You're usually going to put enough attributes in the graveyard, or enough types in the graveyard early enough to make that Pot of Dichotomy live. And it's been working pretty well. It puts the Harpie's Pet Dragon back in the deck. It puts Veilers back in the deck. It puts Harpie Lady 1s back in the deck. It makes signs more live in the end game, or towards the late game. So it's actually pretty nice. And then I already talked about the Swallow's Nest. If you summon a monster and they try to bottomless, so you summon this while you have your hunting ground out, and they try to bottomless, you just get it off the field with the Swallow's Nest. If you then summon another Harpie monster, you get to use Hunting Grounds effect again. So this card is really cool because it allows you to also exchange any of your level 4 winged beasts with any of your level 4 winged beasts. So if you have, say, Divine Wind on the field and you want to be able to get that Channeler effect, then you can simply summon like a Zephyros or a Harpie Lady 1, use the Swallow's Nest, and then grab the Harpie Dancer, use its effect, get the extra monster with Divine Wind, and then you'll be able to continually use the Harpie Dancer over the course of the duel, as long as you can keep that combo going, which is a really strong combo. It's great for dodging effects, it's great for dodging Veilers. I really enjoy it. I didn't think I was going to, and I have. And again, there's that combo with the Barrier Statue. 3 Hysteric Signs, of course, pretty obvious. You win games that you resolve this enough times. It can be cloggy. It can be tough to activate. That's why I'm playing the Magical Hats as well. And Hats is definitely a difficult card to play, but it's also really helpful. And then the 1 Divine Wind. I go back and forth on this. It's really only good with 1 card in the deck, which is Dancer. But there's a lot of ways to get to Dancer, so generally when I have it, Sorry about that, my headset cut out. Yeah, so real quick, Divine Wind again. If I have it, I'm able to make it work pretty much every time, and I really do enjoy playing it. Probably need a Compulsion here at some point. Might switch one in just to have, another option. So if you summon a monster, they try to bottomless or something like that, or they Veiler, and you just Compulse it and you grab another Wind. Again, you can get Barrier Statue, which is really nice. The 3 Hunting Grounds. These things are really good in a lot of matchups. I do sometimes side them out because certain matchups, not really too helpful. But you can always discard them with Channeler's effect as well. So this is one of the cards that makes this deck really cool. It lets you trigger the sign. It lets you do all kinds of fancy things. Moving on to the traps. 1 Bottomless, 1 Torrential, 1 Skill Prisoner. This card lets you dodge Veiler. It's interesting because of its graveyard effect. It acts like it's a regular trap, unlike Breakthrough Skill. So I find this to be pretty good. It's really good at if you go into a first turn Draco sack and you sit in a defense position. and then you have this in your graveyard, it's really nice because they can't Big Eye you, and they can't like Veiler you, because you can usually negate it. So I really like this. It makes a lot of first turns a lot better, and it over the course of the duel, this card will really come in handy. Usually negating that one clutch effect monster target, and then you can go on to win from there. It's also good because since it activates in the graveyard, you can get into the graveyard early with magical hats. Phoenix Wing, this card works really well with Chidori. You can stack your opponent's deck for the next 2 draws, and yeah, just win games with it. Its discard lets you discard the signs. This is the discard trap that I want to run for this one. I might think about like siding something else with it, like a Raigeki break instead for certain matchups, but I really do like Phoenix Wing. Next up is Magical Hats. This card's really cool. I played it at regionals. It was hit or miss, but overall I liked it. Basically, if you control a monster and you're somewhere in your opponent's battle phase, they don't need to be attacking, they just need to enter their battle phase. You basically flip this, so they can be actually done attacking, and you can flip this. You target a monster you control, that goes face down. You take 2 spell or trap cards from your deck, you put them face down, you shuffle them all together, you put them out, and then they have the opportunity to attack them if they still have attacks left. The end of the battle phase, those cards are destroyed, and that triggers Hysteric Sign. That puts Skill Prisoner in the graveyard. It's really nice overall. It doesn't really work too well with Xyz monsters. If they have a material attached to them, it's pretty obvious which one's the Xyz, but it's not too bad. I really do like it, and again, it's something you can use immediately at the start of their battle phase if you want, or at the end of their battle phase after they've declared all their attacks, so you don't have to worry about them attacking your face down monster. The one big downside is it does, of course, put the monster face down, so it's not really that great with Barrier Statue, or with, maybe something like number 74 or Dracosac, because it makes them susceptible to removal. But otherwise, yeah, I really do enjoy it. Usually with Magical Hats, I'll try to use a sign and a Skill Prisoner. If one of those is gone, or if I've already resolved another sign, I'll pick the other Magical Hats just to get it out of the deck. And it lets you thin your deck by a couple of cards. Okay, so Hysteric Party. This card is busted. You flip this, you've got enough Harpies in your graveyard, you usually will win that turn, unless they have a Typhoon or a Bottomless or a Torrential or something to stop you. You can make double Chidori and then just do whatever. Spin their whole field back to their deck. This card is really nuts. I hate winning with it, so I tend to side them out. But yeah, this is definitely a card that people will win games with. It's your Rekindling, and yeah, I think 2 is the right number though. I think 3 is too much. And then 1 Solemn Warning. The extra deck's pretty standard. Lots of 4s and 3 7s. But yeah, nothing too fancy there. Let's go ahead and actually jump into a duel real quick. We'll play 1 just against the AI, just to kind of go over some of the stuff we just talked about. He's gonna go I'm gonna go second. Opening up with Hunting Ground, Sign, Harpie Lady 1, Harpie Dancer, and his Elegant Egotist. So this isn't really too bad. He's going to start with the Pleiades, so that's definitely a problem. I will warn you, the AI is really silly when it comes to these things, and it doesn't know how to use them correctly. So we're going to have to kind of play it as if it would actually work the way that it's supposed to work, because he's going to be silly about that and not use it correctly. Probably at this point want to start off with, we'll normal summon the Channeler, activate its effect, discard the Harpie Lady 1, and get the Pet Dragon from the deck. And at this point I'm going to activate the Hunting Ground, and then set the Sign, and then use the Elegant Egotist to summon another Harpie Lady 1 from the deck. The effect of Hunting Ground is going to trigger, and I'm going to target my face down Hysteric Sign. So that'll activate in the end phase. Now at this point, any sane opponent would already have used Pleiades effect, but yeah, the AI just doesn't know what it's doing. So I'm just going to make 74. He's going to try to flip it back to the hand. I'm going to go ahead and activate 74's effect, detach, and it's going to destroy that. So that's going to leave me with an open field, but I can't attack because he did use Threatening Roar. Okay. So Sign's effect activates. I'm going to add a Harpie Dancer, a Harpie Queen, and a Harpie Channeler. And there we go. am very much ahead of him in cards. I've got 74 on the field. He's going to Dark Hole, though, and that's going to ruin my day. He may make... I wonder if he'll make Exit at Night. He is going to make Exit at Night. Alright, I don't take any damage. And then, foolishly, he's going to go ahead and take out his card again. But it actually wouldn't have mattered because I'm going to very quickly get over that. So, going to normal summon, and then discard again for its effect. This time I will grab the Harpie Queen, and probably want to just make... There's a couple of different options here. Emerald is one, but I can't actually get over his card right now. So probably just go straight into Utopia. And I didn't play Utopia at Regionals, and I kind of regret it because it's actually pretty good here. I actually really like the attack negation in this deck. And he's got the breakthrough skill to go ahead and negate my card. I'm just going to let him get his Sheraton effect because it's not going to matter. And I'll draw into Party. I've got a loaded graveyard, so this is very quickly going to be game. As soon as I get things going here. And he's going to have basically this turn to turn it around. And he will probably make some sort of Xyz summon here, I imagine. Yep, he's going to make Arc, but I have warning to kill his Arc. And then draw into the Dichotomy. I could use this and I'd skip my battle phase, but it's kind of irrelevant at this point. So go ahead and make my attacks. This card, Dichotomy is really nice if you've got like a Draco Sack or something and you're just popping their cards. There are definitely times where you're going to want to Chidori and then knock out their cards and then not attack with it. Just kind of sit there and wait. And again, I really do like Dichotomy so far, but I'm testing it still quite a bit to make sure it's doing what it's doing, or it needs to be doing. It's doing what it needs to be doing. So this is definitely a reaction hand. This is a hand where I'm going to not commit cards to the field first. Because I have the hunting ground and I definitely want to be able to take out his cards. So summon the Pollux, go ahead and summon that thing. I don't care, and now I care. So I'm going to Torrential, knock out his 3 monsters. I don't know why, the AI just does not want to make Omega. This time I got the Hysteric Sign, so I'll set that. Activate the hunting ground, normal summon the Queen. And then destroy my own Hysteric Sign so I can get its effect. Attack, and end turn. And then, the same thing here, usually getting the Channeler, the Dancer, and the Queen. So that gives me a whole bunch of cards. And I've got the Divine Wind as well. So that's going to come in handy next turn. I'll go ahead and use Sheraton, and it doesn't matter. What if he'll set something? Okay, he did set something. I was wondering if he was going to. Alright, and I drew into Swallow's Nest. So, normal summon the Dancer. Oh, warning. I get hit with warning so much in this deck. But, again, it's not going to matter. Because we have all kinds of fun stuff here. We can go this, get rid of you, grab the Channeler. Channeler's effect to get the Dancer. Dancer's effect, pop that back in the hand. Yes, we want to normal summon again. We'll get the Dancer back. And we will use Divine Wind's effect to get a level 4 Wind. We'll go ahead and grab Harpie Lady 1. There we go, we got a full field. And then we'll just make our attacks. Don't know if this is game. I don't think it is. Oh, yes it is. Sweet. Okay, so that's about it for me today. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think of the deck in the comments. If you have any suggestions or thoughts on Harpies in general. And what you guys think about these like small Yu-Gi-Oh videos. Because I kind of enjoy making them. They're fun. But anyways, thank you for watching, and until next time then.